Welcome to me. Artists was there.
Then our chief meeting, somebody. Doing.
But while she has achieved great success, she's most thankful for the people in her life who have helped her along the way. Cia loves her home. And she's just most lucky person, taking care of everyone. But she doesn't have the resources to update it. Mom had to kill for training in her hiding it.
Call this meeting to order.
Lee,
Here.
Charlie,
Here.
Scott.
Here. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Talk quietly amongst yourselves when we sign vouchers.
agency to medical costs people so much, and we love that. And now we're here to help you with something that's
doing?
supported you so much here.
This is the house,
My house, where all of my intensive things that may have going on in my house, or something that
Okay, last your sister.
basically nothing. They work really hard, and they always told us, want to give you their
Yeah.
Go. All right, quiet, please. Anybody like to come to the floor? Karen,
I would like you to.
please, you state your name and.
My name is Karen Haas, and I'm on Main Street. As well as Fancher. We pay taxes both places. The minutes, the draft minutes for the last meeting. My concern is that they characterize my remarks in a way that might be misconstrued by people reading the minutes. What I did was, I stood up and I noted that the board had taken action to not do a well in the village well field. And I noted that I agree with that decision. And my question was, what was the basis for the decision? What came up that changed the board? So that you took that unanimous vote not to do it? That was my question. And it's in the minutes as Karen Haas asked for an update on Water District number 2. She also asked why the town wasn't considering putting another well near the present village well. If you go back and you read those minutes, people would think Karen Haas wanted a well in the present village well field. And I didn't. I would like it reflected in the minutes that I totally agreed with the town's decision not to put a third well owned by the town in the village well field. My question was, what was the basis for that decision? What changed? Because we hadn't had any reports of any new information, and suddenly you voted 5-0 to get rid of that well. So I just really feel that I don't want myself to be in the records of the town as asking why we can't have a town well in the village well field, because I'm not that person. Thought it was a great decision. I asked about the basis for it.
Anybody else? Okay, department reports, Kurt?
Always first, huh?
Yeah.
All right, well, we started chip sealing with the county last week. While we were doing that, they were close to one of our roads, so they switched over, they did it all at the same time. They put in the bill for the chipping machine. We put in a few extra trucks and it worked out. In return for us helping them, they're also doing the rebates on Willie Road, which we will be paving on Wednesday morning, a week ahead of time, so kind of in scramble mode. But since our last meeting, because the state budget was late, the allegation for the chips hasn't come in yet, but it has now, and it has increased this year. So there's 4 subcategories. I think you had it in the report, but if you total all those up for this year's chips, money is $273,084.94. Last year's was $225,759. It's an increase of $47,325. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. Concerned it's gonna go down.
Yeah, that's what everybody was worried about, but it actually went up, so. Surprise, surprise. The fall contracts, have all been invoiced. The remainder of the county fall contract, they owe us, $49,881.14. The grand total for this season was $157,367.90. I don't think that's too bad for the light winter that we had. The Fairhaven Plow contract, they paid us 2/3 back in December. The base amount was $57,190.96. They paid us $37,460.61. That leaves a balance of $18,730.31. Plus the sand and salt that they used on their roads is another $1,918. So they owe us $20,648.66. And two county parks and trails for following Jensel. And the gas that they get from us, I invoiced them for $4,874.47. So the total for last year's plow contracts, all of it was $218,105. And the amount that's coming into us that's owed is $75,404.27. I was able to order a new pickup. It's on order
What's
now.
good order?
The state that came out early on the Chevy. I know you're board man, but they don't even come out till August. But, so
Does it come with a tow package?
the, only on the back to pull the
Yeah,
cords out of the
okay.
ditch. They came in under budget, $49,820. That does not include a new plow. I think we can get a new plow put on that and still stay under the 60,000 we had budgeted. But then I should see it this fall. Onto the roadwork agreement. We talked earlier, the Thompson Road was not on the 284 agreement, and I wanted to put it on.
Mhm.
Roughly about $6,000, and that is CHIPS eligible. So, I mean, we just got an increase of almost 50,000. We weren't even gonna hit the old number. So I want board approval to chip seal Thompson Road, even though it was not on it.
And that's in the 284 agreement or above and beyond that? Is that changing the 284 agreement or above and beyond?
It's gonna be changing it because I'm taking Kent Road off, which was more money than what Thompson Road is, but Thompson needs to be done again. I talked to the salesman. If you don't do it, they won't stand behind it.
Right.
Kent Road, as Lee and I had talked, there's not even a crack in it. There's no sense throwing good money at that road right now. The other road I need to talk about is Ingersoll Drive. The 284 agreement had it as cold mix paved. It's in my opinion and the county highway superintendent's opinion, that's not the right treatment for that road. It should be hot mix paved. I talked to Jim about that. He said, you know, whatever you feel, whatever you guys feel. So, but that is CHIPS eligible. So that's a reimbursement type thing. But it's gonna be a much better product and a lot less hassle with all the blacktop driveways and everything. And it's been mixed paved in the past. I was on the job, so it's got a base.
Right.
It just needs a top for them. But everybody I talked to said that's the best treatment for that road at this point. And I agree. So, I mean, I'm not changing the road there. I'm just changing
Changing the mix on it.
the process that we're gonna do on it. Okay,
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
The Veteran Service Agency will be at the Town Hall May 25th from 9 to noon. I've been working closely with the Department of State for the past few months regarding the town and the village formally integrating their vital records to the town of Sterling. The village processes about 4 deaths a year. I don't think they've had any births. And there's no nursing homes or hospitals in the village limits. I sent a letter to the village, and there's a letter to the town board requesting that the board approve that, so all the records are in one spot. My office is in more need of hours for a deputy. With all the daily items done at the town clerk's office, there's not much work, not much time for other work that needs to be done to be completed. The board passes resolutions and local laws. It's a pretty easy process for the board, but you don't realize what happens on the backside of the resolutions or local laws. most affect my office or other offices. Let me explain what needs to be accomplished to process a local law. There's a lot of moving parts, and remember, we had 7 last year. Local laws are submitted to the town clerk, who in turn presents them to the town board. Town board decides if the law is needed and decides to hold a public hearing. My office has to send the law to the 239 committee, along with referral forms need to be filled out. Send supporting materials, plans, seeker, locate any meeting minutes when the action was discussed, or any correspondence. Since they meet once a month, there's deadlines when the items have to be submitted. Send the documents to the attorney for his review. If there are any modifications or changes, they need to go back to the committee or the town board. Because there are changes or modifications, the process starts over again. After that, there's a seeker that needs to be completed, which is about 5 pages long. Place the legal notice in the paper for the public hearing and the boards. Most legal notices must be posted within 5 days. Land use regulations or laws or changes must be done within about 10 days prior to the public hearing. The newspaper recently changed their legal notice process, and they must be submitted at least a week to 10 days prior of when it's supposed to be in the paper. With that notice in the paper, I'm looking at 3 weeks out. File, organized, and notified by certified mail, return receipt of the public hearing for the different agencies. In the town of Sterling, there are 14 bordering towns, villages, counties, and other entities such as state lands and senior housing that must be notified by law. Answer any questions from entities or the public regarding the law. Hold the public hearing. Prepare a 3-page form for local law for filing. Send a local law to the county clerk, Department of State by certified mail, and file it within the office. Now, if the local law is regarding land use regulations, what needs to be done beyond that is embed the changes in the land use regulations, which make sure the fonts, the margins are correct, which is always easy, especially with charts. Once the changes are in the land use regulations, the table of contents need to have all the page numbers changed. As you add or subtract a word, it can move a document by a page. You're constantly rechecking from the beginning to the end. Once everything's completed, copy and email the documents to all the departments or the boards. That's what it takes to do one local law. Organizing the recent 4 capital projects, purging records, indexing minutes, cemetery sheets, translating minutes from the hand script are just a few of the normal projects that have been all put on the back burner. Now the board is looking for my office to collect water bills, maybe. And again, that will take more time from the day-to-day work. Annually, tax collection takes up most of the line item. I spoke to the bookkeeper and she said that all the board has to do is pass a resolution to transfer the money from contingency. For years, the CEO and assessor has had a clerk to assist them. My office has never asked for assistance until now because we are super busy. This office has been able to keep up with the mandates from the states, the policies from the town boards that affect the office, keeping the office running to the highest level for the town and its residents is priority 1. So I'm gonna just ask for a lot more money for my deputies, because I got Lisa Summers doing the land use regulations. She's having a tough time with it. The zoning commission is looking at the land use regulations again. Now they're looking at separating the word storm sewer, which could throw everything off, to 2 words, and some other items. And I understand some of them are important, but land use regulations, it takes so much time.
Okay. Historian,
One of my big projects is looking for a Korean War vet. Got about 30 days, give or take. It's hard to determine exactly where they lived to, determine whether they're eligible to have their names on monuments, especially in the Markville, Ira, Hannibal, Victory section. It's hard to know, so I'm working hard to try to find all the information. But I have one question. And I'd like to know the board's idea on what to do. And that is, we have two veterans. One who is a lifer in the military, one who got out of the military after World War II and went back in for Korea. I wondered if their names should be on twice, one for World War II and one for Korea. One was Wesley Waldron, and probably some of you knew him. Whether he should be on twice, the other was Raymond Hadcock, who's buried in Markville Cemetery, came from Markville. Fought World War II, Korea, and Vietnam.
I think if they fought in both wars, they should be recognized for both wars.
Right.
Okay, just to be sure, because
Yeah.
you're paying the money for the engraving. Okay,
Yeah.
I will also check with the village. So that's a big thing. I've got about 30 right now, give or take. Went to the historians conference, and I think probably Lisa handed out my correspondence from that. I researched Rebecca Culver for Dawn Rowe. Susan Candy asked for information about the Teach Out, Farnham, and Eno families. Pat and I went to an H3C meeting in Auburn. Jody Nelson asked for information on the McFarland Barnes, Roy Maynard families, and the McFarland home that was torn down a couple of years ago across the street. She was sad it was gone. Had two other requests for the town of Sterling. Unfortunately, maybe, one was Sterling, Texas, and the other, I don't know where the Sterling is, certainly wasn't here. And research on Richard Brooks, and we had our first play practice, and Frank was there. And the play that I wrote about the famous murder of Sterling Valley in 1877.
You the one that got murdered, Frank, or the one that got murdered?
I participated.
John was explained it well.
It's interesting if read it.
That's all I
All
have.
right, thank you, Susan. Anything else to say? That's tomorrow, Barnes tomorrow. Yeah, Barnes tomorrow. Planning board. Is here. ZBA, anything work?
Yes, the last hearing we had in April, the ZBA provided a 5-foot relief variance for side setback from the requirements of the LUR. On Creek Road off Juniper Hill for the construction of a dwelling. So that's a big improvement. We have an upcoming hearing on 5/30 for request for relief of a front setback requirement on Eno Road for the placement of a shed. And that's it as far as the hearings. I did have the opportunity to sit in on the court hearing with Turtle Cove, and a question that came up to me was the town supervisor indicated that to satisfy the requirement was to remove a couple inches of stone. And the first question I had was that a decision that was made by the board?
I think that was just a recommendation on how to get grass to grow there. If they took stone up and put topsoil down, so that the grass would grow.
Where it
I
needs to
think
grow.
the what he has to do is get grass to grow there, so it goes back to the way it was.
Right, I'm just
So,
thinking about the liability of the town prescribing how to grow grass. That may not be the case, okay? And, from the standpoint of what the ZBA understood, their understanding was that what created the problem was indeed the stone. And so the removal of the stone was the position of the ZBA. And that is mentioned a couple times in the minutes of the hearings. Not for anything, but just wanted to understand how it got to be removal of a couple inches of stone when we really don't know how much stone is there to begin with. Maybe you do, I don't.
well, I think what the determination was that it had to be put back to what it was, which was grass growing there. I think eventually the grass would grow with a stone there. To speed it along, I think, putting dirt on top of the stone or removing some stone and putting dirt there, whatever he's gotta do. Then the code enforcement officer will make that determination, as time goes on, to whether he's met that requirement.
Right.
I mean, how he gets there.
Well, I
He can
heard,
go to Home Depot and buy some rolled up grass. And put
right,
on.
I heard you all correctly though during the hearings. Code enforcement officer would take photographs of it and in 2 months demonstrate that there's grass growing there, is that correct?
I believe so, or that there's an effort's been made that. Grass is, I mean, it's not gonna be as lush as it was. Sure, John.
So I haven't yet been contacted by Brian, I'm waiting to hear what he has to say. My expectation is sustained growth of grass, meaning that it comes in and it stays. I'm not a landscaping professional. However, if he was to install one, I would accept that as well. Basically, to get, the amount of gravel removed off and replace it with the topsoil required is have some sustained growth of grass. Is what I interpret that as looking for. And that would be what I would look for, sustained growth of grass.
Great, thanks.
Okay. Historical Society,
Yes, we had a tour today, started at 11 o'clock and ended at 1:10. Like a 3-hour tour.
this was,
We have run out of thank you notes, so I had ordered some from One Photos in Fairhaven and picked them up on Saturday. And we have 4 different scenes. One is basically the sign that says that we're District 5 school district, and then the schools in the background. We have one of the signal towers, one of the Waldron building with a hand card in it, and one of the photos. So that should take care of it for a while. Tomorrow we have a program. Unfortunately, it didn't make paper, but we are having one. We're going to be identifying old objects.
don't look at Susie when you say that.
Well, we asked people to bring in things that were old, quirky, they didn't know what it was, they'll find out what they are. Or we can go upstairs and bring down some stuff.
Did you have somebody coming in to identify them, or you just guessing at it?
Your mom and dad,
Yeah. What time's that at?
7 o'clock around there. And I will have a sign that says program tonight, put out there tomorrow morning. Just because. And as Susan said, we did go to the H3C, but we forgot to say that Lee was our driver.
So you want to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he enjoyed them. Next month, June, the second Thursday of June. Second Thursday, right? The H3C committee is coming down here to view everything we have. It's an informal meeting, so that'll be fun.
Do you have plans of going back to being open on Sunday, on the weekends like you were before, or is it still gonna just be by appointment?
We are just Sundays. Or by appointments, because it's a lot of time to sit there with nobody stops in. We can keep busy, but
We got a call from the people and there's more today than we sold too.
We had fun with it. I gave them a 25-cent tour,
Got the money for it.
and I guess that's all. I've got.
Thank you. Anything, Jonathan?
We're picking up in the coach office, as indicated by the report. Also, by law, required to do 24 hours of continuing education credits a year, completed 32 year to date, so we're good for the year. Including an energy course, there are 50 credits to the town, and increase the points that the town has, going forward for their energy compliance. Permits are seriously picking up now, we're getting busy. And I received several complaints, including from 2 board members about an address on Lansing Road. That property was violated as of last week. Photograph documented and they moved forward with that.
The flatbed's gone now.
What's that?
The flatbed roll-off is gone.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's parked down the road here.
And the garbage seems to find itself down the hill across the.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy and I talked about that, about the trash, but it seems to be piled up and hopefully the resolution is ready.
Good.
One more thing. It was brought to my attention that there's a letter, in there as well from. But the court case involving CNY scrap, was dismissed. Which brings us back to our original point. So at some point, we all need to sit down and figure out where we're gonna go with that.
Good. Fire and ambulance. Yeah. Senior citizens.
Yeah, good evening.
This is what we all came for.
I know, this is the entertainment part of the program, right? Now, let's see, I'm gonna jump right into May here, we finished up here last meeting, we had 65 people show up. And in that 65, we had 11 new members. And word is out on me, they're coming in, I'm telling you, there's just ridiculous how many are coming in. And so that is really good, because our total membership, that gave me a number the other night. Well, at least on the emails, there's a few that doesn't have emails, there's like 92 that we have in the group. And it's a very good percentage of Shirley and Martville in that group and Victory. So we're doing good on that. And then, let's see, so we did our first trip there in May, that was very good, I had a good time on that. And let's see, then we're also about getting everything all set up for the June trip. That's going to Niagara Falls, the bus is almost over capacity right now on that, so she's doing some screening, it might be a chance I don't go, you know, it could be that.
Never.
But yeah, I'm the first one to get caught, you know. And
Be a
then,
shame if you think you got to go, but they didn't have enough room to bring it back.
yeah, right.
That's what's gonna happen someday.
Saw what they did.
I know what they did.
It's rough, I have it rough there, I really do. And then, okay, so, Buffalo, of course, we're still doing that on Wednesdays. And let's see, the Yankees aren't playing tonight, so the game, or this meeting can go on forever for a time here. They will start with Baltimore tomorrow night, they got a good series going there on that. And I'm gonna hold off on the rest of them, if I have something else, I'll be glad to interrupt the meeting and I'll tell you some more stuff.
What time did you get back from your trip there?
Pardon?
What time did you get back from your last trip there? It was pretty late.
Yeah, it was. That had some complications when we got there. And the whole thing, there was delays and things, yeah. And we went to the Strong Museum there, that toy museum there. That was all under construction all the way around this building. I mean, big time construction. The bus, he pulled the bus up into there. I don't know how he turned it around. He had to do it twice. He pulled in there with the bus, turned around, and was gonna let us off. And all of a sudden, this big security guy comes out, wait a minute. Can't do that, because they had an arm there to drive down and raise it up to get it out. So the bus was blocking that off and he got in trouble on that, not real trouble, I bailed him out on that. And when we got done, the security guard and I were best friends now, we're doing emails. And, but anyway, so it was really weird. He had to go in there and with that darn big bus, back it around, go ahead and all this. I mean, it was about a 50-point turn that he was in. Okay, well, I could see me doing that, and geez, but anyway, so that went over good. We got delayed there quite a bit and other places along the way, but we were late getting back. And I think Niagara Falls will probably be along there. Is that going to interfere with anybody's parking out here? There's one other thing too, and I've never done this in all the years I've been doing this. I never said thank you for using the parking lot out here.
No.
Really, it's
He's
appreciated.
keeping tabs.
Yeah, I know.
Should be getting billed.
Pretty soon I'm gonna get a parking bill in there. No, it's very good the way it is out there. And then a couple times we did have snow. And you guys got it all plowed out for us, so it's very good. So that's all I got right now, guys.
Okay.
And then thank you. I want to thank the board for what they do for our seniors.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you for what you do.
Okay, I'm having a good time, guys.
Doing a good job.
Water districts, we haven't met again. Carl from Cuba County Sewer and Water does have the contract. He said they completed it today. He hasn't got it to me yet. But said he will next week. And I'll meet with Pat and Karen. We'll look that over. I think at the last meeting, we'd already heard back from Aqua. They're not interested in service in Water District 2 at all. Do a lot of different things, one of them being it's Cuba County Water District 1 was brought up, but they said that was extenuating circumstances or something at that time. That's why they did that. They are still interested in selling us water. So there'll be an option for Water District 2, but Ian did ask him if there was things in the plans that could be changed. They were gonna get a list together. Ian said as of the other day that they still didn't have a list yet of what those contingencies would be, but, it basically said it's like a gentleman's agreement that they don't come into Cuba County, if Cuba County doesn't come to their county and their districts. Basically the same answer we got from, Wayne County. So. That's where that at. Ian still said he hasn't heard anything back from the funding agencies or anything, so we're still waiting on that. Hopefully that'll come along quickly. There was beginning of the week, or last week, an issue with some water pressures and stuff, some miscommunications with the village, the town. I think it got blown up a little bit. In the future, I'll be the point person if there's any issues. And, I'll go to the mayor, if the mayor doesn't act on it. Then we'll take legal action or anything, but I think this kind of got jumped the gun before we sent a letter. Kind of ruffled some feathers a little bit. So I've been trying to do some damage control on that. Guess the issue was taken care of. The mayor was never notified by the town. There was some town residents that had got a hold of the village. Brian Soper was brought into it, which he has nothing at all to do with the town or the water district anymore. A lot of it's. We need to have a clear, who do we call, who do we contact, who takes care of it. So we can determine that, I'll be the sounding board, I guess. Unless you want to, Kurt.
No.
Okay. So if you have any issues or problems, just get a hold of me and I'll work with you. Yeah. Or
I have issues.
no, if somebody comes to me with issues, no.
I got a lot of them, when I had to do water, but.
Okay. Well, get a hold of me on them too.
Okay.
Other than that, good. Zoning commission. Violence in the workplace, been quiet, yeah. Department oversight. Here, employee handbook. Here. Personnel. Everything good there, Trev?
As I know, yep.
Um. So. I get a motion to accept the minutes from the previous meeting. Change it stating that, make a statement that Karen Haas said she agreed with the town board not putting another well, but wanted to know the basis of change. Would like to motion accepted.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Get a motion to accept the supervisor's report for April 2023. Curious.
I'm sorry.
Supervisor's report.
Oh, I accept it, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye. Letter from town clerk, we sort of spoke to that. Board of Elections is gonna hold the primary, and the general elections will be held at the village, in the village at the Fairhaven Fire Hall again. Historians, singer report. Extension of Water District 1, Aqua's report. To kind of piggyback off what Jonathan said, there is a letter in there, hope everybody read it, a letter from Glenn Flynn regarding seeing my scrap. Expressing his concerns. Certificates of attendance for the bar members for Kevin Sutterby and Terry Beckwith. Police Tanya's certificates of training. Scholarship award for Tanya.
Nice.
Certificate for Association of Towns, DBA minutes, labor minutes, CEO reports. Okay. Old business, part of the contract that Cuyahoga County Sewer and Water is drawing up is going to include the agreement for flagging the storm sewer on service and that, and the we'll be doing the UDIG safe for the water district if they're granted that. Water District 3, still waiting for that. We should have that hopefully by next meeting to present to everybody. Haven't heard anything back from the state on Old State Road. The Turtle Cove court case was adjourned a couple months for the property owner to work with the town for resolution, which will be growing of grass. What'd you call it? Sustained growth of grass. ARPA grant money, still got some of that left. The firefighter exemption. I did speak with Dave Mendenhall again, asked him to come to a meeting. He said that he doesn't think there's enough interest in it for us to move forward. He doesn't feel that the school district would be on board with it. And that everybody's better off with this income tax exemption. Kind of what they've decided, so I guess we can call that closed for now. We picked up, Kurt said he's got one ordered, so we'll close that. Mowing contract, did you get that?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, sorry.
Did you
I
get
talked to
that?
Brian this morning, you need to electronically sign that, and when you do that, it automatically kicks to me. And then I sign it, and then
I didn't see a
automatically,
place for me to sign it, I just saw a place for you. Okay,
you're above me, so don't
Okay.
open mine until you sign.
all right, I'll get that done tonight then, I'm sorry about
Well,
that.
so on that, we started mowing today, and I
Okay.
talked to Brian, and I said, listen, the paperwork can follow, but we're just gonna go out and mow.
Yeah.
What needs to be mowed, so we mowed in Fairhaven, parts of Old State Road and the road we're gonna be paving Wednesday. Like I said, that was dropped on me this morning, 8 o'clock, that we're paving Wednesday, it's supposed to be next week, so.
Okay,
Kind of all hands.
so I apologize for that, I thought last year I signed it and I looked at it and I
It's a
saw
new,
your
it's a
stuff.
new format this year.
Yes,
Cause I was gonna copy it off, have you already sign it and copy it back into my email and send it.
no, they need
It won't
it,
work that
yeah,
way.
okay. I'll get that done, so it should be good for you in the morning.
That's I'm gonna be a crack of dawn.
Right, okay,
getting the
well,
road
whenever
ready
you
to
get a
pave.
chance,
So if I don't get to it for a day or so, oh well, the roads will be mowed.
all right. Dog control, we got a 1-year contract, to end December 2023. I went to the county supervisors meeting last Thursday, and this was a topic of discussion. Nobody really wanted to give up who they use. the town of Victory's got, I believe her name's Patty somebody. The town of Ira's got somebody they use. Basically said, look on the website and get the numbers, but I think they're afraid that. These people that are doing it don't wanna do it large scale, and. If it's more convenient, which I don't think it's gonna be more convenient for anybody to do Sterling, cause we're way up here. But, there were a couple different options that people, I know the town of Ira. And Victory has somebody different, in mine, there's somebody, maybe Cato, down south, they use a company that's, based out of Portland, but they have different people up through, so. Everybody's concerned about that, that's using Finger Lakes, but I think probably should be able to find an alternative. Korean War Veterans Monument, that's moving forward. Do we need to make a resolution there? I think you can just do them twice if they're Korean.
As long as you agree.
Yeah, and then the road work agreement, which Kurt spoke to. The June meeting under new business will be June 26th because of,
Talking about this here, whole state of it.
okay,
I talked to a deputy out here Sunday morning, he was sitting up here by the school. And I asked him if he could sit more on Old State Road. And he says, I'm the only person up here from the county, this whole upper north end area. Only one person up here. And I said, well, people are complaining about the speed, stuff like that. And he said, well, a lot of people don't know what the speed is, you know, what they overjudge the speed. I said, well, if you go over there sometime, you know, in the morning or afternoon, people coming through, I think you buzz down there pretty fast. So what he said was, I will report back to command here and have them travel that road. At different times, if they can, when they're up here.
And is there a counter or something? He's up by the end of my driveway, is the only reason I know about it. There's a counter set up, two black buttons going across.
that might be for the bridge, maybe.
Well, that's what I wondered, if there's been some big trucks going across that bridge, I mean, tractor
Is
trailer.
that still weight limit or? Actually, it used to be a weight limit.
No weight limit on,
Not anymore.
no, ask Larry, he was the first truck down when they lifted it. That was years ago.
He was probably the last truck over it before they had lifted it too. I don't think he ever did.
Want to slow down, we could just not plow it in winter time.
What, I wonder if the village. I wonder if the village would let us use, don't they have a machine?
Yeah, the problem, we had one too,
Do we?
but it's not a solar one,
Right,
and it was,
we could plug it at Charlie's house.
well, we could do
Well,
that.
I tried using the hair dryer till one day a guy pulled a piston back out.
But we had it up by the highway, because they were coming down.
Right.
this was years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, the batteries were lasting like a day,
Yeah.
and we're out there constantly changing the battery out, trying, you know, now they have the solar powered ones, but.
Right.
I mean, I think people use that as like the green lighted racetrack, you want to see. how high they can
Right,
get.
see what they can get it to, see if it
I
goes.
mean, they've got it on West Bay Road, and, I don't know if it helps or not, but. that-
I think it's, I mean, it's just not an Old State Road problem, it's every road, it's every,
I don't just.
people don't,
Well, that whole stretch
yeah.
sees a lot of traffic anyway, between Fairhaven and Sweden. And there's just a handful of regular people with some extra loud exhaust on their diesel pickup trucks and just seem to think they got a 5 mosquitoes, they're going across the bridge. They're doing a good job, but with people, I feel bad for the neighbor who has horses who walks them up past down their house with these things. There's the people how they drive down there.
So,
Camaros.
when you said you're waiting on the state, on Old State Road, is that for the?
They, yep, so, I don't know what it's been, probably close to a year now, yeah.
It's like an act of Congress.
The-
to change the speed.
we had made a resolution and Dan submitted a request to get the speed limit lowered. That has to go to the county approved it, sends it to the state, but then the state. We did Old State Road, we did New Street as well. which I think New Street will probably be a lot quicker, being that it's a residential area, but we still haven't,
Kids on that
we
street.
still haven't heard back on that.
Once I go to Stephanie Irons,
So it's all right, we good? New business, the June meeting will be moved to, June 26th because of the holiday. Lake Ontario's drive off Irwin Road, so we had a request from 911 to change, to put a name on that. It's a private road, but there's more than one property on it now, so it messes them up with a. No, it's just got an Irwin Road number, so. Requesting to change it to Sterling. Lake
Lake
Ontario.
Ontario Acres Drive.
We got a request to add an extension to Water District 1. Well, President, talk up to that. And. Yeah, does anybody, or everybody research that and. Do that, yeah, changing the water district. So be voting on a resolution to have a public hearing on that. And we're gonna need to advertise for fuel bids again already. Okay, anything else for new business? All right, I get a resolution, motion for resolution to pay the audited vouchers.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Lee,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes. Discuss it. Very soon.
What do you want?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Well, I did the map. And what you said was it wasn't even 2 days a week.
Right. Like I say, that number. This one.
That's
9,000. Yeah, I'm sorry.
because I've got another one left over for at least the summers,
Right.
and then I've got, got vacation in August.
Okay. Can I get a motion for a resolution to authorize the bookkeeper to transfer $9,000 from A 1990.4 contingent to A 1410.11 deputy town clerk?
I'll make that.
I'll second it.
Lee,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
Yes,
thank you.
thank you.
No, I just appreciate it because it is kind of good and letting myself writer.
I get motion for a resolution approving consolidation of vital registration district between the town of Sterling and the village of Fairhaven. Whereas the town of Sterling has been assigned by New York State's Vital Statistics District 0568, and the village of Fairhaven has been assigned by New York State as Vital Statistic Registration District 0528, and whereas the town clerk has requested the approval of the town board to formally consolidate the town and village into one primary registration district, namely the district of the town of Sterling under Vital Statistic Registration District 0568, and whereas the formal consolidation of the registration districts would benefit the public by eliminating questions as to which district records should be filed, and not result in the loss of services to either municipality. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Sterling, the consolidation of the town and village register functions under the town's registration number, Vital Registration District 0568. Is approved pending necessary approvals of all other required entities, including the town of Sterling, Cuba County, and New York State Department of Health. This board changed, oh, that's it. Okay.
I'll make that resolution.
I'll second that.
Lee.
Yeah.
Charlie,
Aye.
Scott.
Yes. I get a motion that this board change the June regular meeting to June 26, 2023 at 7 P.M. and authorize the town clerk to advertise for such meeting.
I'll make that.
Also, good.
Lee,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yes. I get a motion that this board schedule a public hearing to extend water district number 1 on June 26, 2023 at 7:05 and authorize the town clerk to advertise for such meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Lee,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes. I get a motion that this board name the area up the hill from 9 Mile Creek south, southwest towards Marsh Road off of Irwin Road to be named Lake Ontario Acres Drive. And that the town is not responsible of the maintenance or liabilities of this drive.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Lee,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes. With this board create the position of deputy registrar for civil service.
Yeah, it's deputy registrar of vital statistics.
Okay.
Apparently, we've never, civil service noticed that we have to create the position first. We've always had one, they just,
Is it legal now?
so they have to approve it first, then it'll be legal.
I'll make that. I'll second it.
Lee,
Yeah.
Charlie, Scott.
Yes. Could I get a motion to authorize the town clerk to advertise for fuel bids?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Lee,
Yes.
Charlie.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes. I get a motion to authorize the highway superintendent to make the necessary changes to the 284 roadwork agreement. Previously stated.
That motion. I'll second.
Lee,
Yeah.
Charlie,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes. Then everybody saw the letter from Doug Delastrito. With Joe Kelly seeking to be on the Parks and Trails Committee. I don't know the county's attorney said there wasn't a conflict of interest, but I still see where there'd be a conflict of interest with her being on that committee and having her husband work there under that authority, so. But I'll ask that we bring it for a vote. To authorize Joan Kelly, or appoint Joan Kelly as this Cuba County Parks Commission member.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
That's what you want.
Lee,
No.
Charlie,
Yes.
Scott.
No. I think we should make a motion to advertise for that position.
And it's their decision, or it's their. Okay, yeah,
No, the town, the way Doug explained it to me is that the town usually appoints somebody to it. But
Okay.
Joan had approached them
I thought
and
they-
said she was interested in it.
I thought they, excuse me,
I thought they approached her. I'm sorry, I did not know that.
No, he said that she approached them and volunteered. Which he said was very unusual.
Yeah.
So he submitted this. But I think the town board usually appoints somebody in that position.
Usually not Tom Morton.
Right, it's usually somebody. So I get a motion to have the town clerk advertise for anybody interested to be on the, represent Sterling on the Cuba County Parks and Trails Commission.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Lee,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yes. Anybody else like to look at the floor?
We're gonna ask.
Oh,
Hold on, hold on.
hold on.
No, we got it. I just wanted to make sure that the extension of water
Okay.
district one was on there, just, yeah.
Okay. Lee.
Make something, adjourn.
He said that.
All in favor? Aye. 8:95. It's still daily though. Let's hope this turns into a habit.